We've got another very interesting question that's going to be asked in this very video, and you guys need to see it. As I usually say, I am not going to talk anymore, so let us get into the video.
Hi, we're in London and we're asking men whether they would date a trans woman or not. Would you date a trans woman?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
They're women, aren't they? Yeah.
So you're saying you would,
Yes.
because that, sorry if I've heard you right, that person identifies as female.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty open to date anyone, but trans women are women, so I don't see any reason why not.
So that's, I guess that's the important thing that the audience wants to know about sort of anything controversial with regards to where we're at in society, is that the majority of people say trans women, i.e. born biological men, which everyone agrees on, trans women are therefore women.
Yes.
And why is that? What makes them a woman if they're born biologically male?
They identify as a woman, you know, for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter.
This guy really just said they identify as a woman for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter. You have got to be kidding me that these are the things that are being said in the Western world. This guy cannot be straight with what he just said. This is absolutely insane and I'm speechless.
Because if they think that, if they say that they're a woman and identify as a woman, then they are a woman. So
Sorry, I understand. So it's a feeling thing, it's a personality thing, it's an identity.
It's who you are.
It's biology, isn't. So if I've got it right, biology doesn't matter.
No, biology doesn't dictate who you are. No.
Okay, fine. So you would, regardless of orientation, you would date a trans woman because you see them as a man or as a woman, but because you would be open to dating a woman. Okay, I have to get my rhetoric right. You would be open to dating a woman in general.
Yes.
And you see a trans woman as a woman.
Yes.
And that's based on the fact that they identify and feel like that, and it's not to do with biology and certainly not to do with surgery. You wouldn't be influenced whether they've had surgery or not.
No. It wouldn't change my mind. No.
Okay. Would you date a trans woman?
I don't think so.
Why not?
There is absolutely no reason you should be saying, I don't think so. We all know his true answer to this question, and there'll be a variety of reasons why he says, I don't think so, and he's thinking about his answer to this question. And I believe the reason he's thinking about the answer to this question is because he knows what will happen if he answers the way he wants to answer. The woke mob will come and attack him for his answer, so he wants to tread softly with the answer he says. It's an unfortunate reality that's going on right now where people genuinely can't even say the truth anymore because of the woke mob. And it's very interesting that the woke mob are the same people who say that they're all about freedom and individuality and people having autonomy, but they'll be the first people to come after people for saying different opinions to them.
I mean, I don't think that's part of what I want to do. I think I'm just kind of like, you know, just neutral about it and just go with my own.
Could you speak up a tiny bit?
With my opposite gender, that's about it. I think that's as far as I go.
So the way that I describe a trans woman is as a biological male.
Yeah.
So if I was to be asked that question, I would say no. And I would say no for lots of reasons. One of them is that I'm not gay.
The interviewer had the best answer and the most straightforward answer, and that's the reason majority of these people who say they won't date a trans woman wouldn't date a trans woman for. But because they don't want to offend people, they start to stutter, pause, think, and all of the above. But that's the best answer.
Would you date a trans woman?
Yeah.
Why?
Because although they were biologically born as a male, they're still a woman. Because they feel like a woman. So even if they change their bodies biologically, that's how they feel. So if someone's into women, they should accept dating trans women as well. I know it can be sometimes a little bit challenging, but I think it should be something that should be more normalized. And I think it doesn't mean that you're part of like any community, and I don't think it like challenges your sexuality. And I think that's why some people think it's like not okay for them.
So I think two very important points. It wouldn't be homosexuality for a biological male to date a transgender woman.
I don't think so.
And second of all, I think one of your points was it was just kind of around normalising it and not looking at it as stereotypical or as controversial, etc. You wouldn't have an issue with a biological heterosexual male saying no, I wouldn't. You've said you would. But you wouldn't have an issue with a heterosexual male saying no because that's a biological male?
I would respect their opinion because I know it can be like a little bit difficult for some people, but I think people have to be educated more that trans women are still women.
Apparently, we are the ones who need to be educated more. In years to come, people will look back at this craziness and see what an insane society the Western world was. Because apparently, we're the ones who are educated, and these people who believe men can be women and women can become men are the ones who are educated.
Biologically born as a male.
So, just one last point. You've mentioned a couple of times about the education piece, potentially for heterosexual males, that a trans woman is someone who, born a biological male, is someone who identifies as a woman, and then therefore, as a result of that identity, that makes them a woman.
Yeah.
Are you able to explain that or justify that?
Well,
Other than, of course, they feel it.
well, I mean, it's just you're born. Sometimes your biological body does not define who you truly are.
Before we get back into the video, I need everyone to turn on their post notifications so that you get notified whenever one of my videos come out. Like the video as much as possible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy. Let us get back into the video.
So when people transition to the other gender, it's not like they want to change their gender. They're changing to become what they truly feel. So that's why I don't think when a heterosexual man dates a trans woman, it doesn't mean that they're homosexual or anything, because at the end of the day, that woman is still a woman.
Does it matter whether they've had surgery or not? So would you date a trans woman regardless of whether they've had surgery or not? Is surgery a factor at all? Because we've spoken very much about identity and personality.
Mm-hmm. Well, I personally haven't had that experience, and I don't...
But would you then?
I truly don't know.
If these people were logically consistent with their stupid ideology, the answer to this would be very simple. It would be a yes, you should be dating those people. You don't have to have the experience to know certain things. It's just a cop-out, him saying that he doesn't have any experience, so I'm not going to answer it. That's all it is. He knows the answer to the question, which is why he's saying, I don't have experience. You don't need experience to be able to tell whether you would. If you are consistent, and trans women, according to you, are women, you would date them regardless of whether they went through surgery or not. It's really that simple.
Yes, sometimes that's honestly a challenging one.
Yeah, if no surgery had happened, because obviously surgery often happens.
Yeah.
But with a trans woman, if no surgery had happened, so they're both a biological male, and they've chosen to not have surgery as well.
Well, one thing is choosing not to, and another thing is not being able to because they can't afford it.
Sure.
I think most, if not all, trans women, if they were able to transition, they would. But some people can't, and I think it's just.
But if they
you have to
hadn't,
be.
would that change
If
your
they
opinion?
hadn't.
Because
Well,
I'm not going to presume anyone's sexuality here, anyone we speak to today. So if they hadn't, would you still stand by that you would
Yeah,
date a
because at the end
trans?
of the day, they're still a woman.
Because they're still a woman.
Yeah, it would be maybe a little bit more difficult, but if you really love that person, you would see them for who they truly are, and not
Understood.
just their biological self.
That's great. Would you date a trans woman?
I personally wouldn't.
It's really refreshing to see someone answer immediately with no pauses when the person knows what their answer to the question really is.
Because it just goes against my beliefs, and I don't feel comfortable doing that,
When you say beliefs, do you mean core values or do you mean religion?
Core values, religion and core values, I guess. Of course, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and their own preferences. That's just my preference,
And obviously, we're hearing a mixed bag. There's two answers you've given that we normally hear. That's one of them, i.e. it goes against my beliefs or it goes against my preferences. Sometimes religion's involved. If you would unpack that for us. So you've answered similarly to how I would respond if I was asked the question, because I'm heterosexual. So I wouldn't date a biological male because I'm heterosexual. Would you expand on why you wouldn't date a trans woman, so a biological male?
I wouldn't date. Well, firstly, dating is not actually something I would do. I'd go straight into marriage rather.
Sure. Let me rephrase then. Would you marry a trans woman?
Would I marry a trans woman? No.
Why?
I wouldn't do that because in my beliefs and my core values, sexual relations are supposed to be between men, biological men, and biological women.
Would you date a trans woman?
It depends on the emotional connection. Because I don't know, if it was for just the experience, I think I need the experience to be 100% sure, but in the future aspect of having a family which I is interested in, I would like to experience it, but I'm not sure if I would like to, you know, build a future with that person.
Great. Would you date a trans woman?
Nah, over religious beliefs, because obviously I've got my wife anyways, so
Oh, okay. So I'll rephrase: if you were single,
yeah.
if you weren't married, sorry.
Nah, not any. I ain't got anything against them. I ain't got anything. They can be free whatever they like, but for religious aspects, because my religion don't follow that, and I strictly abide by that. That's why.
So when we talk about it, so the way that I define a trans woman is a biological male.
Yeah.
So when you say you wouldn't date a trans woman, is there a reason why you wouldn't? You say it's for religious beliefs, which a lot of people say.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you date a trans woman?
Just for religious beliefs, to be honest. Yeah,
Anything
that's it.
specific about that? I won't
No.
presume your religion. So
Yeah.
anything specific?
No, it's not just that. But look, at the end of the day, I'm not saying it's wrong, but either way, when you're born with a identity, a gender identity, male or female, right?
What a generation we have made. People are genuinely so soft in our society, and it's really sad to see. He claims it's not wrong, but then goes on to say that people are born with a gender and identity once they're born, which is him saying that it is wrong in his beliefs. So I don't know why he's tiptoeing around it, but then I do know why he's tiptoeing around it. But it's really unfortunate to see.
When you die on your paper, it will either be female or male at the end of the day. It's just the in-between talks that come up as like transgender, gay, bisexual. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that either.
No, you're entitled to your opinion.
I'm just, even if I'm entitled, I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with that, but still, like, you just got to see it in a way. That's how I see it from my own perspective. Where you die as a male or female, and you are born a male and female at the end of the day. So either way, it takes a man and a woman to procreate to make more children, more society.
You wouldn't date a biological male
No.
because
No, I
you are
wouldn't.
not homosexual.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm not homosexual. Man. That's
Sure.
why.
No, I'm just deconstructing what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm heterosexual, man. I'm straight. But other than that, no issues with transgenders. But that's my personal belief.
Sure. Thanks for that, mate.
Have a wonderful day.
Another good video. As I usually say, you guys like, comment, do all of that to boost me in the algorithm. But as I usually say, if you guys enjoyed the video, like the video as much as possible, comment down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy, and I am out.